When all these pieces come together, the truth is revealed. Years ago, a man painted a picture, an extraordinary painting, full of secrets. At the time, it was just a painting, but today, it is much more. The Mona Lisa. Who is this Mona Lisa? In what era did she live? What was hidden beneath that mysterious smile? We'll get to that, but is it unnecessary to exaggerate the Mona Lisa? Some people look at the painting and say, it's just a woman. Others believe it's not just a portrait of a woman, but a work of art. Because the Mona Lisa was moved between different studios and, with fine details, it was completed over 16 years, created using the golden ratio, and in 500 years, it was stolen twice and damaged once with acid. These features make it, in a way, unique. But that's not the only thing that makes it unique. Mona Lisa, the model. This painting was the ultimate summary of Leonardo's talent as a painter. Da Vinci, who had fewer than 20 paintings in his lifetime, is said to have hidden certain secrets and mysteries, just like in the Last Supper. What makes us think this is the use of a kind of encryption in his notebooks and works? Leonardo wrote in reverse so his writings wouldn't be easily stolen or read. He also arranged some of his most important notes in a complex way, placing pieces only as he wanted them to be combined. This could be considered a simple form of encryption. Looking at all this, you might call him paranoid. But maybe he had to do all this. Pascal Cotte wanted to dive deep into the Mona Lisa, and he aimed to do this in a reconstructed scanning environment. With a resolution of 240 million pixels, recording 13 light wavelengths, thus, the 4 layers of the painting were revealed with today's technology. Leonardo's preparatory work appears at the top right with infrared reflection. The thinness of the paint layer and the traces of the canvas on which it is fixed appear at the bottom. Left with X-ray radiography, consecutive layers of paint and mistakes made during the drawing appear at the bottom right with ultraviolet fluorescent light, and the final version of the painting, the current state, appears at the top left. You can review them through the video link at the end. But as a result of previous examinations, some details were noticed. Now it's time to reveal the secrets hidden in the details. Researcher Stevenson and his team created an ultra-high resolution copy of the painting and studied it for days. One day, they noticed something just under the bridge on the right. When they clarified it a bit, they saw it was a figure, the numbers 7 and 2. As the team continued their investigation, they noticed faint lines near Mona Lisa's eyes. When they looked more closely, they found the letter L in the right eye and the letter S in the left eye. The numbers L, S, and 72. To understand what they meant, they investigated whether the background behind Mona Lisa was real. They found a small town called Bobbio. It is clearly known that Leonardo had been there before. A medieval castle. The sides of the painting look very similar. A winding river, high hills, and a stone bridge on the right side. Don't be surprised that the bridge looks similar, because although it appears upright, it was drawn horizontally to make it more visually pleasing. At least, that's what is thought when trying to see through Leonardo's perspective. Things get even more interesting. In 1472, the bridge was damaged in a flood, and later restored after major destruction. This makes the number 72 meaningful. This is exactly Leonardo's era. Did Leonardo intentionally place this number, or was it just a coincidence? It's not known why he added it, but Leonardo da Vinci is known to give meaning to everything he draws or includes. What about the letters L and S in the eyes? L could stand for Leonardo, but what about S? To find out, we need to look into Leonardo's life. When Leonardo was 10, he took in a child from a poor family, a young boy named Giam Giacomo Oreno. Due to his mischievous and troublesome behavior, Leonardo later nicknamed him Salai, meaning little devil. According to many, Salai was Leonardo's apprentice, inspiration, and perhaps even his lover. Could Leonardo have reflected Salai in his paintings? For example, in some of his works, the purpose of the composition is unknown, but one-on-one portraits of Salai may contain interesting secrets. And as it turns out, when compared to the Mona Lisa, the nose, chin, facial features, and smile were strikingly similar. Could that be a coincidence? We've never clearly heard of someone named Mona Lisa, whose identity and background are fully certain. So, who was she, really, and why was she painted? When we ask this question, the answer seems very close. At first, Leonardo didn't care much about his apprentice, but later, he recognized the harmony between them, and they may have become lovers. Revealing such a relationship at that time could have cost them their lives, because homosexual relationships were punishable by death. Leonardo and Salai had to keep this secret for life, and they did. But Salai may have wanted Leonardo to show that he was the only one who truly mattered. And Leonardo may have wanted that too. He couldn't do it openly, so there was only one way: to immortalize Salai under another name and face, in the most perfect way possible. For this purpose, Leonardo carried the painting with him constantly and secretly continued working on it in different studios for 16 years. It had to be perfect. The nose, facial features, everything had to resemble him, but not be recognizable. He made subtle changes and eventually completed the painting with great care. His name couldn't be Salai. Any people knew that nickname. Instead, he encoded the name Mon Salai, meaning my little devil. As Mona Lisa, Leonardo hid a great secret, one that could have cost him his life. Within the painting of the Mona Lisa, and the letter S in the eye. Now made sense. Even if this sounds like a conspiracy theory, when the pieces are combined, it feels like the truth. And these are not the only secrets believed to be hidden in the painting. In my previous video about the secrets of the Last Supper, I talked about Leonardo's mirroring technique, and how he may have added hidden messages that way. With your guidance, I would also like to show some details I intentionally left out. For example, when the bread and hands in the Last Supper are aligned with a certain note, a melody appears whose meaning has not yet been solved. Also, one of the parts where Leonardo is thought to have hidden himself is something I wanted to show you. But the Illuminati was founded in the 18th century, while Leonardo lived in the 15th century. However, the one-eye symbol is not exclusive to the Illuminati. It has been known since the Torah and is believed to represent the Antichrist. Leonardo, who is sometimes described as irreligious and associated with satanic symbolism, may have been pointing to the dot. If we reverse the Mona Lisa painting and look closely, it appears to gain a three-dimensional effect, and Mona Lisa seems to look directly at us. When we mirror the painting from the edge, it looks as if a strange entity appears, reflecting a sense of leadership. As I said before, we didn't create or imagine these things, Leonardo did. What we're doing is simply trying to understand what he may have hidden, from different perspectives. Paintings like the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper show us that they are not just paintings. Leonardo da Vinci, who aimed for perfection through intelligence, mathematics, and philosophy, proved himself to be a genius. Are there really secrets hidden within his works, or are these just our interpretations? Seeing and interpreting things this way reminds us that sometimes we need to push our limits in life. Who knows, maybe there are still more secrets waiting to be discovered. What do you see when you look at the Mona Lisa? If you'd like more videos like this, you can show your support by liking the video.